Cove.
Oh yeah, thank you very much.
What you forgot?
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Good bop 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 do do. She my paper for do.
Rubber bub bub doom but digga bum.
She got my lila hoo ba la la lum.
Is go but that's a baliam pachong kong.
Shing ma di la la fin kong kong.
Shim boom babanga dingo cho.
She ba ba la li de la loot do.
Bing bang sa wo pachang kata.
Si ha mi o fa hi ho la.
Xing cha hang chong pa to.
Shika para mana bisa to.
Ming po mang ka ting.
Hing ma shing o hi ya ling.
Xing to hang a shang ge ho.
Swing ka mis ka to.
Sheng to sheng pom pa cheng.
Shika ma ka to va la hing ga ling.
Ming dong ning dong tu.
Swing a ming a ling a ho ma ha.
Mang no ming mang de bang.
Slip up di di loop ta.
Ma ma.
Stick a motor for the a di luta.
Limbo chang tu hang gu seng ting chang pong chung pong.
Swing a ming a ling a hong o hing a mang ho.
Shimon pa ching, pung kam cha.
Waka pa ti cha ma sa. Shika pa la loop for la di choka.
Ping pa sam pa ting pa chung chung. Ping ting pa tam pa shom fung.
Shika pa ka pitika ka pa ka te manaka shika pa ka tu ka pa ka tika tike.
Shiming ka chang pa sing pa chang kang. Suba te pa pang fa tang pang.
Shika musa isa paladasa misa kusa ufa la lasa.
Chang pang ka ching pa tam fa pom ching pa ka fa pa tam pa tong ka pom.
Swika pa ka pitika pi ka pa ka tu mga hika ka pa ka tiki ka pa ka ku.
Pong chu shong pa chong. A shima ta kom fa tong bong.
Swika mana mala hitaka mana hika pa ka kala hisaka.
Sheng shong pa chong pa tong fong pa tika pa chong pong ka tong ka song kong.
Swinka pika nika la mala hika hoka makata.
Sang fong shiga sing fong pa tung pa sing sam fong pika tika tong pa chung.
Aliens and Earthlings. I'm Kutzky Tha Space Pimp.
And I'm Tallboy Tony. Welcome back to another episode, a part 2 of part 13 of Smugglers Cove.
As is tradition,
As is,
I would start the tarot cards,
we would.
but first things first.
First things first. I'm kissing a darling lady.
Delicious. So, you already know. Stephen D. Farmer,
Yeah, they do.
aka Dr. Liverpool, depends which regions you know him from. He has made this lovely deck of Animal Tarot to help us pick our Smugglers Cove intro. So I shuffle away and see what the cards say, and then I pick the animal of the day.
I was gonna say the animal which is least gay.
Well, I did see unicorn in this deck, so yeah. I mean, his book did feature dragons. Pull up his book for a second.
Yeah, no. I realized Dr. Liverpool has another book.
This was my first introduction to Dr. Liverpool.
Yeah, dragon right here, next to dragonfly.
Yeah,
If you can believe such a thing.
as they're often seen together in the wild.
I hear they throw wicked parties.
Who
There's
now?
donkey. Unicorn. We'll find a unicorn here in a sec.
Some dude told me once that dragonflies only live a day.
I don't think he was right.
I don't think he was right either.
Yeah, unicorns in here.
Seems a little weird that it only live a day.
That's houseflies. Houseflies only live a day. I think.
Housefly like fruit flies?
No, houseflies like... Houseflies.
Like, really? No, those fucking cats, they live long. Not long. Like, the little, like... You know, it's not, like, minuscule. It's kind of like...
Picture a fly.
Yeah.
That.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Those guys live longer than a day.
I think some, like... I think it depends on which ones, but I'm pretty sure some of them only live 24 hours. They just spend it breeding, and then I think, like, I don't think it includes the maggot cycle.
Yeah.
Like, no. they go from their larva to their pupa, and, they're only flies for 24 hours.
Is it June bugs? Or June bugs just a day? So those idiots just die all the time.
June bugs? I'm not quite sure. I really don't know. To me, June bugs...
They're type of, like, cicada, aren't they?
They seem more like a beetle to me. Their carapace is really quick.
Cicadas, they only live a day? I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
No, cicadas, they like, only... It's like 11 years they can stay in a tree or some shit?
That's those guys then.
Yeah.
Okay.
June bugs, I don't know. They only live for like...
The month of June.
A little bit. But then they're here in like May. And then mayflies are here in June. I don't know.
Welcome to Canada. Welcome to East Coast Canada. That's our living down here. Come on, cards.
Oh, I just burnt my hair.
Nice.
Yeah, it is! No, it's not. Ooh, zebra.
Zebra.
Zebra, for all of you who are Libras.
Yes. Classic Libra spirit animal. This is a zebra.
Really?
No. Fuck no.
Oh. I thought that was a goat for Libra.
No, Libra's just the scales.
Yeah. Of time.
Of justice. I think the scales of time would be more a Capricorn thing. But a Capricorn, of course, has...
for goats.
Yeah, for the animal.
I was just going to say goat until I was right. Now, what's a Sagittarius?
It's the archer.
Ah.
Yeah. Some of them have animals, some of them don't have animals.
I was really disappointed when I first learned about Gemini, because I looked it up in the dictionary, and it just had like 2 naked people hanging out. Nice. And now, basically, that is my spirit animal.
Just 2 naked people hanging out.
Well, I mean, there's a certain duality to me, and I can be naked in either one of them, so...
There you go. 2 tall boys. A la mode.
A la mode.
Zebra says, let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. That's very nice of you, Zebra. Please go more in depth. I'll roll, said the zebra.
Thank you, Mr. Zebra.
Yes, very kind soul. Do I detect a southern accent from you? No, you don't.
Y'all don't know about these stripes now, you hear?
I just saw unicorn went backwards, like Z didn't come after you. Alright. Again, let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. Whenever you venture into unfamiliar territory, it's quite natural to feel some trepidation. Saying that right?
Yep.
You know that word?
Trepidation.
Okay, trepidation. Your mind can create all sorts of scenarios as to what can go wrong. Doubts and uncertainties may arise, and the path can seem fraught with challenges and sometimes even danger. You may find yourself stuck at times, fearful about moving ahead. Yet much... It's much, it's not March.
Sorry,
so that helps.
Just like March. What the fuck?
Well, it helps when the fucking right word is read, Caleb. Yet much of what we label as fear isn't actually stardust. Fear. Same thing, though.
Or interstellar gas.
Yeah, so 90% one or the other. True fear is a vital, instinctual response to any life-threatening situations. Good God, really learned something here. As is triggered not only by circumstance or events, but even more so by what you think about those circumstances or events. Stay relaxed yet vigilant, trusting that nothing can truly harm you and that your body will provide sensory information if there is any actual danger. If there truly is any threat, then your instincts will tell you what to do. Whenever you feel an exaggerated sense of fear triggered mainly by your thoughts, one that has little or no basis in reality, take a few slow, deep breaths. Call upon your spirit helpers who have provided their guidance and protection before. Reach out to close friends or family members for reassurance and to help you feel grounded and centered. Recall those times in the past when you did feel frightened or were endangered and not only survived, but came through intact. You can also relabel fear and instead call it excitement. That's interesting. As the two emotions are very similar in the way they manifest in the body. Most of all, trust your spirit guides, your instincts, and your friends to watch out for you. Trust your spirit guides, your instincts, and your friends to watch out for you. Associations, protection, guardianship, alertness, kind-heartedness, compassion, individuality, compromise, challenge, analysis, illusion, magic, sure-footedness, confidence, changes, agility. It's a whole lot of fucking associations with the zebra.
Individuality for a zebra.
Yeah.
The whole thing was about relying on other people. And zebras themselves have camouflage. And that camouflages them against the herd. Like, that's what a zebra's camouflage does. It makes it harder for lions to tell which zebra is which. So, Dr. Liverpool, I respect and what do you call it?
Retort.
No.
Report.
Not report, but I
resolve.
Consult your book, often. Zebras are like the animal that should be least associated with individuality.
I mean, yeah, but also aren't all their stripe patterns like snowflakes? Like, no two zebras are actually the same. That is a fact.
I mean, yeah, but that'd be the same for every other animal on the planet.
Yeah, but you could say, in the sense, say there's another person that looks like me. We both have long blonde hair and we skateboard. We're individuals because one's cooler than the other. And thus, there's...
I'm not saying that zebras are not individuals, but their whole shtick is to not be individualistic.
Alright, well, let's go to the fear associations. You feel any of this pertains to you?
Fear associations?
Well, because he said the fucking zebras to... Call on the zebra to assuage your fears.
Well, like, to me...
Become your full-fledged individual.
See, I'm typically... Like, my mind always goes to extremes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like... I'm excited to get arrested. Doesn't really do any good. It turns me into, like, a worrier into an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just no real plan or forethought.
That's kind of true. I was thinking if it pertained to me, it'd be like, I don't know, just saying more stuff. I don't fucking even know what I'm saying. I thought there was a moment in the last podcast when I was talking about the Pimp book, and I just felt like I just got into a zone of explaining the whole, like, movie dialogue, director versus actor versus, just a character that is beyond your control.
Mm-hmm.
And when I felt in the zone, I was not at all really thinking about what I was saying. I don't know, that I guess I am constantly thinking about what I'm saying, but that I think is a useful skill, so I don't know.
I typically do a lot of my thinking about what I'm saying after the fact, so, while I'm chewing my crow, I can do all kinds of thinking.
Mm-hmm. Well, real time's the best time, then, I guess. If you can process what you're saying as you're saying it, that's when you've unlocked the God tongue. Or the pimp tongue. And on that note, yeah.
Pimps, tongues. And what's your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time is The Blues Brothers.
Tell me more.
Why? I think it's a funny movie. It's a good movie. Those are all pretty basic things. I saw Blues Brothers for the first time when I think I was about 6, and it introduced me to a lot of blues music, as you might imagine. So I learned about Ray Charles, I learned about John Lee Hooker. Those are the main two that stood out, really. But the whole soundtrack to the movie, like, she got the Katie, left me a mule to ride. That's a wicked good song. They got some Sam Cooke in there. And the Peter Gunn theme song. Ding 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 ding.
Oh, really?
Ding ding. That's basically how the movie starts with that. Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of good car chases.
I was not aware.
The storyline's cool. This brother Elwood goes to pick up his brother Jake, who's been in jail for the past X amount of years, and Jake is under the notion that Elwood's still been playing in the blues band, but Elwood's been bullshitting him the whole time while he's been in jail, because he thought the band being together still was the only hope that his brother had while in jail. So once his brother finds out, he's like, you lied to me, fuck you, but, like, we gotta get the band back together. And so he's like, I don't think the band wants to get back together. Like, they all have straight jobs. So they go. Of course, they're orphans, and they were raised in a Catholic church of some sorts. Mm-hmm. And they go to see the nun who helped raise them, and she's telling them that the orphanage is being threatened to be shut down if they don't have enough money to pay their back taxes.
So they need a concert.
So they need to get the band back together to make the money. At first they say they're going to go steal the money, and of course the nun, she's not having any of that.
Good
so she whacks them with her stick of Jesus, I guess, out of
she does.
office. And they they tumble out down the stairs. That's a whole funny scene. And then they meet their father figure, who is just sort of a kind of custodian type guy around the orphanage, and he was the one who introduced them to blues music, got them playing. So then he says, you boys need to go get churching up. Like, you need to go to church. So they go to church, and James Brown, of course, is the reverend at this church, and he goes into this whole singing like thing. When Jeremiah was a bullfrog, and there's that whole song, and it's an awesome fucking church scene. And so Jake, the guy who just got out of jail, he gets like, the light shines in on him, and he's like seeing the light. He's like, I see the light. And he's like, what? He's like, the band. We're gonna get the band back together. Of course, this is they're gonna get the band back together, and you predicted it. Have a concert, make the money, whatever. So they leave, and they have their trials and tribulations of getting the band back together. But of course, eventually they all agree, and. Aretha Franklin's in that movie too. She sings her song.
Who's Aretha Franklin?
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Find out what it means to me.
I guess I've heard of her.
Yeah, you know that song?
I've heard that song.
Yeah, so that's their main big one. I think there's a couple others, but she's in there, and so the other whole running joke is Elwood, he's doing all this shit, there's this cop chase. So right after they leave church, they get stopped by the cops, and they realize the cop has these new, kind of just when tech came out, so he typed in a license plate, and the computer gave all the charges that were outstanding with Elwood, and it was basically that he was going to get arrested. So he flees, and they chase him, and they go chase him through a mall. It's a fucking epic car chase scene. The cop cars flying everywhere, and there's some stats to the movie, like they went through, I don't know, 200 cars in that movie, like just toppling cars and crashing cars into each other. Anyways, they're running through the mall, and Jake's like, "You're gonna get us thrown to jail. Like, throw me back in jail," because he's obviously on parole or probation, fresh out of the clink. And Elwood's just like, "We're on a mission from God. Like, no one can stop him because his brother saw the lights." So this whole thing, they're just doing all this stuff. And it's like, everything kind of works out for them, because they're on this mission from God. So that part is kind of cool. And I guess I always thought too, in a more like spiritual sense, that movie was supposed to be metaphorical to my life, because I think stuff that you see at a young age is sort of like foreshadowing your life. And so I'm like, he meets his brother, like I'll meet my blues brother at some point, and we'll do Smugglers Cove podcast, and something to that effect. So basically you'd be Jake, I'd be Elwood.
Someday I'll watch that movie and I'll know what that means.
Yeah, so that's my favorite movie of all time. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Silence of the Lambs.
Mm-hmm.
I had a period of time where if I was in a room, that movie was on for a period of like 2 weeks. I went to bed to that movie. I'd wake up and put the movie back on. Like, if I woke up to go to the bathroom, I'd be like, oh, start it over, and fall asleep to Silence of the Lambs for like 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks. I just had that on all the time. I think it's a beautiful movie. It's a bit of a slow burn, of course. But Hannibal Lecter, I think, is just such a beautiful monster.
Yeah.
Because he is so intelligent and so interesting, but he also has his faults, right? Like, he can be tricked, but he, and angered and everything. Like, he does have insecurities. He's still human, but he is just so twisted. I guess, it's kind of weird to say a beautiful monster and still human, but he really is quite, like, intellectually just on a different level. And he knows it.
Yeah.
Like, he's essentially just this cruel but just God in his own mind. Right? Like, and
more with that.
I don't know which movie it's from, but I like Hannibal Lecter's quote, "I take every opportunity I can to eat the rude." And seeing as how I hate the rude, I definitely kind of Hannibal Lecter maybe inspired me a bit too much.
Yeah.
Not that I eat people.
No.
Just to have very little time or respect for them.
Yeah.
Rude people to me.
Because I feel like that's something I kind of dawned on me later on in life. I feel like there's a bit of perception with criminals, less so now with all the, like, mind hunter and all the probing into the psyche of the serial killer. But at one time I was just like, well, they're insane maniacs. And it's like, they do insane things, but a maniac kind of has no rhythm. Of course there are those just like pure psycho whatever, but they typically get caught pretty quick. So to have the mind. And
Edmund Kemper was a really high IQ dude. And like the fact that like Ed Kemper was just such a walking billboard of, hey, I'm a monster. And everyone's like, oh no, Ed, he just comes down to the bar and talks to cops, and we like him so much, we gave him a fake police badge and handcuffs. Meanwhile, Ed Kemper, I'm a police officer, get in the car. Cutting people's heads and hands off, like. But yeah, no.
Brilliance.
Hannibal Lecter, back to Silence of the Lambs, like, it's just such a beautiful idea because you look at the maniac, right? Buffalo Bill is sort of that maniac. He's still calculated, but nowhere near like Hannibal Lecter.
I know Buffalo Bill.
And Silence of... Oh, you haven't seen the movie?
I saw Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lamb. Yeah, because it's Hopkins. And then the movie ends where she goes to the house and, like, finds him somehow, or no? My way off.
Silence of the Lambs is about Clarice Starling enlisting the help of Hannibal Lecter to help the FBI catch Buffalo Bill.
Yes. Okay.
And my favorite scene in that movie is Goodbye Horses. When he does the "Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me so hard." That to me is another instance of just how beautifully just twisted this guy is. That, you know, his and how he's so unhappy with who he is that he's got to like cut women up in order to make himself a woman, as if being a woman, even if he completes his plan, will fix what is so obviously broken.
He's sewing a girl together in the...
No, he's kidnapping... He kidnaps a bunch of larger girls, starves them, kills them, flays them, and then he's using their skin to make a woman's suit. So he basically is pulling Ed Gein.
Again, I'm not going to know who.
Oh, Ed Gein. He's the inspiration for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Ed Gein was, I don't know, it was somewhere in the South. He was kind of like this, like, with a really cruel mother and father. Okay. He was also kind of the inspiration for Norman Bates' Psycho. Ed Gein he wasn't a serial killer per se. As far as they know, he only killed like one person. Only, you know. He killed one lady, but he was mostly a grave robber. And he would, they found in his apartment or his house a belt made of nipples. He had a cereal bowl made out of a human skull. He had one head, like 2 nails on each side, like hung. He had like lamp shades made of human skin, and he had a woman's suit. Like he had a vulva that he would tie around his groin, and he had like breasts, and he had like a skin suit that young boys in the village were like, "There's a lady that dances naked in the moonlight in the field." It was Ed Gein wearing people clothes. Anyway, so Buffalo Bill is obviously... Oh, yeah, no, he's like just twisted. I think he said he didn't eat anybody, or... I don't know if eat anybody or fuck anybody. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he wasn't... As far as I remember, I could be way off, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't a cannibal or a necrophile. Okay. He just... like to play with them in like the worst arts and crafts on the planet.
Thank God he wasn't a necrophile.
Stars, Texas. But I really like Silence of the Lambs. I think it's a beautiful movie because you have the sophistication of Hannibal Lecter juxtaposed to his just bestial nature and like his cruelty. And it's sophisticated. You know, it's a real duality thing. And then I think that you just have Buffalo Bill, who's smart, but he's also just so twisted and broken. And I can't help but feel bad for Buffalo Bill. Yeah. Well, just because imagine being so hurt and tormented by yourself that you think the way to go is to kidnap women... and do those things to them. That, you know, obviously feel worse for the women, but like, you know, like if you have like a 30-foot pit in your basement, a swastika on the wall, and then like women's skin on a mannequin, you are doing something wrong. You need to figure out a better way to live your life, man.
Yeah, I mean, you probably should have figured it out long before the 30-foot hole in the swastika, but I feel like it was probably destined to...
Well, to be fair, you know, I could see you getting it like a Nazi flag, you know, and like after that being like...
You can work your way back.
Back. For you to renovate your basement and dig a 30-foot hole, even a 10-foot hole, like if you've seen the movie...
You can still work your way back.
You can work your way back, but like...
The belt of nipples.
The belt of nipples. Point of no return.
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta sit there, like imagine digging that hole and you're just like, yep,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so horny to kill people, I need to dig a 30-foot hole. Like...
Good God and grace.
Yeah, no, that's...
You know.
So...
Yeah.
That's my favorite movie.
Yeah. Does that explain a lot about us?
Nipple belts.
Yeah. Church and blues music. Mm. And a little bit of crime. Number...
Yeah, that's what I would describe as flaying people. It's a little bit of crime.
I was talking about my little
Oh, the
crime.
Blues Brothers. Yeah, mine's a lot of bit of crime.
Yeah.
Very little God.
Yours is dark. Mine's, it is run from the cops. They're just, annoying us.
They keep it light. It is a mission from God.
Yeah, we're on a mission from God, guys. Like, get it.
To save an orphanage.
Tell your sergeant. At one point, they're trying to go across this bridge, and there's all this crowd of people. It's in the park, and this mostly takes place in Chicago. So I think it's Wrigley. No, I don't even know. Anyways, they're at this park, and so they're in the car, and this security guard cop thing, he's like, comes to the window, and the Elwood's like, what's going on here? He's like, the fucking Illinois Nazis just won their court case. And Jake's like, Nazis? I fucking hate Nazis. And then he's like, yeah, bastards. And the cop walks off. Anyways, they start beeping the horn, driving the car, and the fucking crowd spreads, and they just speed towards the bridge where all the Nazis are doing their whole Hail Hitler type shit.
Yeah.
And they just drive straight at them. The Nazis all jump off the bridge, and then of course the Nazis are after the Blues Brothers, so it's like they got the cops and the Nazis chasing them all through, and yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll watch it sometime.
I'm down.
Number 11. What's the stupidest movie or TV show you've ever seen?
Stupidest?
Ooh. Any of those fucking garbage, like, dating shows. Like Love is Blind. Fucking, I forget what the hell. Perfect Match. I watched a bit of that with my wife last night. And I don't get it. Like, they're so fucking annoying. And I thought I made a real funny joke. I was like, that is just like, watching that is basically just like being at work. Like, you're just listening to people say, like, batshit stuff, and it's all kind of toxic, and I thought I was fucking laughing, because some jobs I've had have been much like that. There was a little less sex involved, but not none. So there's that, and there's one point my mom and sister were watching it, and I was in my room, and I had to come out and see what this girl looked like, because her voice was just Cali girl. Like, the fucking dial was broken off. Like, I could not believe somebody was continuously speaking like this, so I had to go see, and she was about as Cali looking as I expected. So to me, those are just the stupidest TV shows. Movie. Do you ever see there's two BTK movies? There's one that's like super low budget. Like, I don't even know if they had a budget. And that one,
I don't think I've seen any BTK movies.
It's hilarious, I guess. So it's stupid in a funny way. Not stupid like the dating shows. But what's the stupidest movie or TV show you've seen?
See, I'm trying to think, because like, I don't, when you say TV shows, for me, and your answer not. Like, to me, it's like low-hanging fruit. Like, obviously, like, shows that only cater to the lowest fucking common denominator. I'm trying to think of a narrative show, but then I keep thinking of, like, YTV and Disney shows.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, those are shows for kids. So I'm kind of stuck at trying to figure out shows that I've actually watched. I think... So one kind of plays off yours. I have two.
Yeah.
One kind of plays off yours. The Biggest Loser. I think that show is just fucking stupid, because it makes a spectacle of people that are obviously in desperate need of help. And then you have them like, it's cruel.
Yeah,
and you have these people who have worked hard, as hard as people that obese can, and I mean that's kind of a dig, kind of not, because when you're that big, it's, you know, you cannot do the work.
You've hit the fucking nipple belt point of...
Well, almost, you almost can't go back. Like, it's huge. No pun intended. So, but then it's like, then you call them the biggest loser? Like, they've fucking done more than they've done in 30 years, and they get their fucking reward is to stand on a scale in front of the entire world and be called the biggest loser? Like, that's just, it's cruel. It's stupid, and it's a stupid idea, and it's cruel. The other one that comes to mind is one called Q-Force on Netflix.
No.
It is probably Krista Brown's favorite show. It's a bunch of secret agents who are LGBTQIA plus.
Let's say like some liberal propaganda.
It still sticks. White straight men are all jerks.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear anything about gay people. And they ship off like they ship these people off to have like, you know, they're on their own Q force. Like, because what else could be more on the nose? And they ship them off on this, like, into middle of nowhere and don't give them missions for, like, 10 years. And all the jokes are just about how these people are oppressed. And it's like, do you want that to be your legacy? It's like whining about how hard you have it. And it's just, it's not good writing.
No, then, I can't imagine.
Wow. And it's just all this self-righteous, we've worked so hard to be in the field, and, well, you know what? I don't go around talking about my sex life in front of coworkers a whole lot, you know, unless...
Yeah.
It is the kitchen industry, so there, you know, there is talk of sex. But, like, unless it's a conversation, basically, that's agreed upon by everyone, because you can leave the conversation any time.
Yeah.
The guy, when he graduates the Secret Agent Academy, because that's not stolen from 8,000 animes, he goes, like, and I'm gay. So you know, so you're coming out of the closet in front of a bunch of people who might not even fucking know you.
Yeah.
In a place where if you're really worried about that, shut the fuck up. And like, should you live in fear? No. Do you announce it in front of the entirety of the faculty? Also no. Like, like if someone stood up in front of, you know, at the graduation and was like, I really like small penis humiliation, they're probably not going to get a fucking promotion anytime soon. What unhinged individual decides to fucking shout their sexuality in front of an auditorium of secret agents? Like, you're a secret agent. Everyone's going to know about your sexuality. That's what you secret agents do.
Yeah.
Like, don't do it at graduation. Anyway, so Q-Force, I think I got through like 3 episodes, maybe 2, maybe 1. I don't know. It was really bad.
I feel like I'm almost being asked to go, like, check out this car accident. I'm going to have to fucking suffer through, like, 5 minutes just to...
5 minutes is all you're going to need. It does not get good.
No.
It's basically just...
going anywhere.
Poor us and... fucking straight white guys, you make everything so hard for everybody by existing and having set up things and wanting to be a part of them with your friends.
That old racket.
Yeah.
Fucking, yeah. Well, I think we nailed that one.
I still want to know what's stupidest movie.
No, because when you see a movie that's like so stupid it's the stupidest movie, it then becomes... the ironically good movie. It's just like it's so bad it's good.
Sometimes it's just really bad though. Okay, so the stupidest movie, actually.
Yeah.
This one is just bad. I forget what it's called. It's called like...
Yeah. I've got one in my head right now.
It's a play off Dungeons and Dragons. And like Tom Hanks and these group of college kids like play too much Dungeons and Dragons and Tom Hanks' character goes crazy, so he like thinks that he's still a wizard at the end of the movie. And it's just confusing, slow, and bad. Like Tom Hanks' character just like goes crazier and crazier throughout the movie. He's being like led around and he's like stumbling through New York and he like ends up stabbing a guy because he thinks he's a troll or some shit. And so it's like it's just stupid and like it was.
Tom Hanks get wrapped up in this usually.
I don't know, man. It was an obvious like anti Dungeons and Dragons propaganda film, you know, like because I grew up thinking Dungeons and Dragons was this horrible satanic cult, and my brothers, for all intents and purposes, I thought that's what they grew up thinking too. Because I remember like being at chapters and my brother would be like, "Don't touch that book, it's Dungeons and Dragons," and I was like, "Ooh, like Satan!"
Thank you, brother.
And then now, like, my brothers are just like, "Oh my goodness, Dungeons and Dragons!" Like, well, it's just funny too because it was like, we can't play Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, I know. Let's hop on World of Warcraft, which isn't basically just the same thing but with less capability.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say that's the stupidest movie, at least that I've seen recently enough. I was on a Tubi kick for a while because like
Tubi would have it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would. Tubi also has, dear listeners, or it should. Hell Comes to Frogtown, and you need to watch that movie. It's just post-apocalyptia.
Yeah.
Men who are able to impregnate women are in short supply.
Okay.
So there's a plot point. And they fight giant frog people. And I'm here for it. And it's actually, like, it's not even a so bad it's good. It's just good. Like, it's just actually, like, a good movie. It's fun. There's action. The effects are good. It's, you know, it's got some spicy bits, but it's not, like, I wouldn't, you know, it's exploitative, but it's exploitative by, like, 70s standards, not, you know, 2023 standards.
Okay.
Like,
Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Hell Comes to Frogtown.
It is. Number 12, Tony. If you could have one food for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
Oh, shit.
I mean, my first instinct is cinnamon buns. I fucking love cinnamon buns. If I was going to be practical and try and pick something healthy, I'd probably just say ginger.
Yeah, I'm kind of at the same point. Like, I want to say, like, steak. Like, you know, I'm assuming you get a meal. You know, just not just one food. Like, you know, if I got steak, it would also be, like, my rice with onions and mushrooms. Okay. Right? So, I would say steak or a lot of raw fish.
Yeah.
But I think more practically, honestly, I could probably eat that stir fry that I've been making. I don't know if I told you about it. I started making stir fry at work. So my stir fry has blackened chicken, which is chicken that I toss it in Cajun spice and Montreal steak spice. I blacken that in the pan. Well, you blacken it on one side, flip it over, drain the oil, and put it in the oven.
Yeah.
Let that cook. Then I make a stir fry with onions, broccoli, garlic, and carrots and mushrooms. I make a stir fry to that. Then when the chicken's almost ready, I pull that out, dice that up, throw it in the stir fry, and add egg noodles.
Yeah. And
I feel like that meal, you know, I need to watch it on the soy sauce, but like, other than that, I feel like I could survive. Makes me gassy as all get out, though.
Well,
like not a pungent gas, but a little embarrassing when you, because it's, you know.
But
musical.
As a smart answer, I think that is a smart answer.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say steak, but then that's too much red meat. Then I was gonna be like liver, and I was like, no, I will die from iron consumption.
If I'm going under that notion, I'd just pick my smoothie and chips. That's what I have for breakfast every morning. It's got ginger, spinach, passion fruit juice, tomato juice.
I should start adding spinach to my stir fry.
Yeah. Yeah, you should. It's fucking good. Spinach, chia seeds, peanut butter, ginger. Yeah, so ginger, spinach, lettuce, 5 lettuce, parsnips good in it, and some peanut butter and some passion fruit juice and some tomato juice and then a bunch of water. And I always said peanut butter and chia seeds, some hot sauce, and that I just blend that up every morning. Well, I don't wake up in the morning. Every afternoon when I finally decide to eat, so I'll have that.
Well,
I'll eat chips.
10:30 in the morning now. This is still our evening, to give you an idea.
Perspective.
Yeah.
So, I think I would probably survive pretty well off that. Because eventually, of course, I'm just going to start photosynthesizing, so I won't need food.
Yeah.
So, yeah, evolution.
Your probiotics will become expert biotics.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, and I'll only need one. And,
Yeah.
There we go. No more of these amateur biotics. 1 billion? 1 billion. What's your biggest pet peeve? Or what are your biggest pet peeves? People who say several. People who wear sweatpants.
You don't like several?
I fucking hate the word several. Anytime somebody says the word several, I automatically deem that person as like, I have nothing to learn from you. Sometimes I do have stuff to learn from them, but I'm very bitter about it.
Okay, fair enough. Where would you prefer they use?
A lot, many, a bunch, like anything. I know this is wrong, but I don't care. I don't like that several sounds like 7, and that's what bugs me. I'm like, why would you have a word like, it's like saying 2-ish, or like tenil, like 10-ish, like even 10-ish is almost better, because it's like, there might have been 11, but I wasn't sure. There definitely was 10, or like there was almost 10, but several, I don't fucking like it at all.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
If we're stuck on word pet peeves, I hate the word plop. It inflicts upon me physical pain. Not stabbing pain, but like I die a little. Like it hurt me. I felt it in my bones when I just said it. I hate that word. You can use plunk. Plunk is fine.
Yeah.
But I also don't like words in general. Like I don't like plop. Wait, no. Plum. I don't like plum.
Plural.
Plural is okay.
Yeah.
I think plum it just sounds like, it sounds mushy and then round. Plum.
It's kind of a plum.
Yeah. Plop is, ugh.
I hate when people say spat. He spat on the ground. No. Just say he spit on the ground. Say spitted. I actually want you to say spitted before you say spat. Same with shat. Anytime I've heard somebody say like, oh, he shat his pants.
Just say shit.
Yeah, you're not my friend. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on with you, but you need to fucking pump the brakes on the Jesus and just swear. And, yeah.
You're still cursing.
What?
You're still cursing if you say shat.
No. It's like William Shatner. Like, I don't know.
So you just want people to say William Shitner?
No, I kind of do, yes, but
I mean,
I'm just
pretty funny, but
saying it's like, to me it's not at all the word that it is, even though it is the word that it is. It doesn't compute in my brain, and I will say I've never heard anybody who said shat be like, like, oh, I want to be like that guy. It's always like, oh, when's he gonna leave? So there's that.
That's a fair point.
And I find that with people who use several. If you ever meet a person who says several more than once, I almost said it myself, but
I was gonna say, because I do use several.
Yeah, I was gonna use it as a joke, but if you meet a person who says several more than once in your meeting with them, I think this goes with any like sort of fancy word. I just hate in general when people use words that are...
They're trying to show off, kind of?
They're over excessive. It's like, you're using this to be a fucking cock. Like, you could have just said this like a normal person, and I wouldn't be feeling this towards you right now. And whatever you thought you did in using that word, it's completely backfired because I now think you're a fucking twat. And cool. Yeah.
See, for me, when you say, like, use a word like a normal person...
Yeah.
I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal, but there are sometimes like the quote unquote bigger word is literally easier for my brain to process than saying it the normal way. I can't think of an instance, but like
I'm thinking of an instance where somebody used stymied, and
stymied. That sounds like an awesome word.
Not in the fashion it was used. Some of these words are cool. Like, yeah, I like learning words like
taciturn.
Taciturn's
a pretty cool word.
Yeah. And it's like, but you said it in sort of the right way. I mean, I guess you were kind of quoting. Or no, you weren't even quoting. You were just saying
I just used it and I told you where I found it.
Yeah, so, but you didn't say it in this. You used the word pedantic. And it's kind of ironic that pedantic is pedantic. But it's like, it's that kind of thing where it's like, oh my god, dude, like, know the time and place. Because sometimes it is like, it fits to use that big word, and you can tell when, you use this word and it actually helps the group that you're talking to. It's like, perfect, I now have this word to articulate this bigger thing in a smaller way. So there is function to it. I'm not just like whitewashing all big words, but it's more so when big words are used as a personality trait, and it's like,
I typically find I use them. Yeah, don't you let anything really become a personality trait. Kind of like, I don't think that you should even let your art become a personality trait. Like, still have other things about you.
Yeah.
You can let your, like, any one thing that defines you, you need to round yourself out. Because art is a method of expression.
Mm-hmm.
Like your clothes are also another method of expression. Like, don't just walk around in paint-spattered garb, being like, I'm an artist, look at my smock.
Yeah.
Right?
Balenciagas.
Yeah, look at my awesome moon rock Crocs. But I find when I'm using like words from a larger vocabulary, it's either because I'm at ease, I'm interested in the conversation. Those are the two places that I find I'll use them. Because if I'm just talking to someone who I have no interest in talk. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes if I'm talking to a stupid person and I want them to feel stupid, I will pop out a big word just because it's like, get out of my face. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the dick version of like, I can read more words. So it's like, this person's dumb and I want them to leave me alone. I'll use bigger words until they go away.
Yeah.
And but that's the thing.
Repellent.
Well, but that's the thing is like, if they turned around and instead of being an idiot, asked like, oh, well, I haven't heard that before. What does that mean? They'd earn points with me immediately, and then we can talk about words because you want to get me talking. I'll sit there and look up words in a dictionary with you. Like, that's a fun thing to me. I've done that a couple times. Well, a couple is very...
Have you done it several times?
More than several. I've done it a lot.
10-ish?
10-ish? I don't even know. That depends on... No, I can't say that on there. But anyway, I've definitely done that more than once. More than twice even.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there it is. Now you know how to grind our fucking gears.
I got so many pet peeves that I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long question. It is question number 13 too.
Yeah. There it is. Are you more into brains or looks?
Brains.
Yeah, brains. Honest to God. There's no way to cut it. I mean,
well, I'm not I'm obviously not a creature that that's just like
Gollum.
Well, there are some girls with large eyes and it doesn't matter. Not the hairline's wrong on him, but obviously I want to find a woman attractive, but like there was a girl at work that recently left, and I'm more about face than body anyway, but like she had like someone designed her who owns an anime body pillow is all I'm saying. Like the proportions were there. And I kept thinking to myself, I was like, damn, she's hot. but then it never really like clicked into the like into the top part of the brain, and I was trying to figure out. I was like, she's dumb as fuck. That's why I'm not attracted to her. Like I could look at her and be like objectively like, yeah, no, that's a good looking girl right there. After that, it was just like she wasn't even there. I just forget about her because she was just this nattering insect.
Yeah, you don't really bring anything if you're not...
I literally talked to her...
Bring in your brains.
I talked to her on a lesser level than I talked to my nibblings. I would literally talk to her like I talked to my 3-year-old niece.
And it's like the situation just calls for it. It's not even like you want to do it. It's like you're just forced to.
Well, and I wouldn't do it in a mean way. Like, no. I'd be joking around with her. I'd be like, Are you trying to step on my feet? And she'd be like, no. It's like, you are 24. This works on someone who's still in diapers. Reevaluate yourself. I mean, she was a sweet young lady. You know, she has her purpose in this world, I'm sure.
Yeah, because there's dudes at the same level, be it that she's heterosexual, and if she's homosexual, then whatever.
And there's definitely liberals on the same level.
There's always, there's fucking peas to fit in the pod.
There's always liberals.
Whether the pod's going to hell in a handbasket, there's peas to fit in it. So, there you go. Mind your P's and Q's. Number 15.
Especially if you're on the Q force.
Yeah. Do you celebrate any holidays? What's your favorite? I mean, Christmas.
Christmas,
yeah.
Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving.
No, I celebrate all holidays. I'd say Christmas is my favorite. Just fucking wintertime, family. It's just, there's cheer in the air. It's like...
I like the spirit of Christmas around the time. I would enjoy Christmas a lot more if it wasn't such a bleak affair for me nowadays. Because it's just my parents and my older brother and I sitting at a table. And it's
fucking nice.
Well, it's just not the same because Christmas Eve used to be a thing where it was like... three of my brothers, like all four of us were there, and my parents were there, right? So like there was chatting and like laughing and jokes and everything, and it was heaven on earth.
Yeah,
just having such a good time with my family, and I love my parents and I love my brother, but it basically becomes my parents talking or my mom talking to my brother. And then my dad and I eating, and I might chime in a couple things here and same with my dad, but it just doesn't have the same energy, you know. And it's like, oh, do you want to dress the tree? Like, yeah, I guess. Or, oh, I did that while you were napping. Basically, my Christmas was spent napping this year. I feel really bad about it, but I like New Year's. This next New Year's is going to be interesting to see if I remain on the nice list or not. Put it lightly, but I like New Year's because there is that charge, like there is that static in the air, kind of like everyone's like, let's go, like fucking rocket, like also it's really cool because then I get a bunch of Happy New Year's from Russians.
That's cool.
Russians don't really care too much about Christmas. Their thing's New Year's. That's when they kick it off.
Fuck yeah.
S Novым Годом! Вечерника! Like, fuck yeah.
Cool.
Drop the ball.
Cool. What's your guilty pleasure?
I don't know if I can say.
I honestly am not fucking really guilty about any of my pleasures, but I will say probably cookies. Fucking, I can just shovel bag cookies, and it gets to a point sometimes where I'm like, dude, you didn't need to do that, but there I was. So, and it's, I don't know, I can eat like 6 cookies sometimes for breakfast. It's obviously not daily, but yeah, for my birthday, I had a big old cigar, and there was just 10 cookies. I didn't eat all the 10 cookies, but I definitely had a cookie for breakfast, and then another one. That's one where I feel like, because most of the other sweets, like sweets would probably be where this would fall for me, but like a cinnamon roll, it's like, I'll have one cinnamon roll. I don't usually eat like 6 cinnamon rolls. Piece of cake, sometimes I like cake, depending. I'll have a piece of cake, that's fine. Any sweets, but when it comes to cookies, like, fuck it. I'll just always have, more than I might think I should, but that's about the best I can answer that. All my other stuff, not too guilty. Guilt's a bit excessive, but
Yeah, see, guilty, and I know that this is kind of using it in a colloquial sense.
Yeah.
Where guilty is like, you're not going to jeopardize any true friendships by disclosing the information.
My nipple belt.
My nipple belt. Well, that's the thing, is like anything that I would feel guilty for, like everything else, like other than the dark secrets I harbor in my heart and in my activities that I keep in the shadows.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty forthcoming with most of what I do. So like, I don't know, guilty pleasure? I don't know, fucking Lady Gaga?
Yeah. I fall in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Art Pop. What a good album.
Yeah. I haven't listened to it. I imagine it's good if you like it.
I
fucking love Lana Del Rey. I think...
you showed me some of her. I don't know why you feel guilty about that at all.
No, I don't. I'm just saying that it's under that line. Like, my wife thinks she's like this vapid socialite, and I'm like, you got twisted, girl. So, I think, because if we're going to go, I'm going to touch on the dark aspect of this. Like, if you're guilty about any of your sexual pleasures, you gotta fucking let yourself be, man. We all fucking roll the way we roll.
So long as you're, respecting other people with your...
Ideally, I mean...
Ideally.
Yeah, disclaimer on this.
Yeah. Don't go too guilty.
Yeah.
This is not a time to DM us here.
Yeah, if the bloodshed was mutually agreed upon, you're fine. But, yeah. That's all I want to say about that. Number 17. Which meal is your favorite? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Supper.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
know that I eat a lot of eggs, but I honestly, like, for me, it's like, give me a big portion of meat, veggies, and a carb. That's what I want. I'll have a sandwich. Lunch is okay with a sandwich.
Yeah.
But my breakfast right now consists of raw eggs, milk, brown sugar, and an apple afterwards.
I feel like I would have to go breakfast, because if I'm going to a fast food joint that's not Arby's, say like McDonald's or something, breakfast sandwich every time. Like, it's rare that I get something that's not the breakfast sandwich. Once they start doing all days, fuck yeah, breakfast.
Yeah.
A sentimental part of me wants to answer dinner, because that's usually the time that I would have food with my family. So I would argue it on that point, but yeah, if I'm going just based off myself and trying to pick these based on fast food joints, or just if I'm going out to eat and somewhere has all day breakfast, it's usually going to be a decision.
Okay, unless we include if croissant is counted as breakfast, then breakfast, because I could eat my weight in croissant. Fresh croissant, I'm not kidding. I will eat 250 pounds. 250 pounds of croissant. I will try it. I will at least try it. Actually, that's so much croissant. I rescind, but I would still eat like at least a portion of my weight. A healthy portion, an unhealthy portion.
You don't mind like breakfast sandwiches, eh? Like, is it?
Man, now that
just because they have the croissant ones, so basically that's where I was going with it.
So if we go to Saint Lavie, I might get a ham and Swiss on a croissant.
There
it is. Or a ham and cheddar on a croissant.
Yeah.
like, that kind of breakfast food doesn't bother me. But now that I don't want to sound like, preach. Now that I started drinking my eggs, I got no time for cooked eggs, man. I got no time. Like, I can turn you into liquid cake and just drink you down and then get on with my day. I don't have to worry about cooking you right. I just have to worry about whisking you right. And that's a much easier process for me.
Fair.
Because I've always, got that anxiety, I like my eggs over easy, so it's like, huh? Oh, thank God! Or fuck! Now you can have an over easy egg because your egg's flimsy and weak.
Yeah.
Like the Q-Force writing team.
Eggs, man. One of the best ones is when you get the hard-boiled egg but still get the yolk. That, to me,
I've never eaten a hard-boiled egg and I never will.
Oh, well.
The smell keeps me away.
Yeah. If you have them fresh, they don't stink like that.
Really?
Yeah, like if you just boil them and then eat them there.
Oh, because my buddy would bring them from home in school.
Yeah, that's when they get the smell once they've cooled off.
It's just
no.
I don't know what is wrong with you.
I do fuck heavy with egg salad sandwiches on. I'll fuck those up.
I think I've had one or two. I think I would eat an egg salad sandwich again, but it's never, whenever there's egg salad sandwiches about, there's typically another option.
This is true. Number 18. What do you do when you want to chill out after a long day? Honestly, I'll scroll Instagram. Fucking do that.
It really depends for me.
Watch YouTube. So I don't feel like I have too much of... I never worry I'm on my phone too much. I had this friend who really was adamant, basically Facebook is the downfall of mankind. And the points he brought up, they had a touch of merit, but it's obviously when people are using it in a very toxic fashion.
Yeah.
For me, was listening to him and thinking, dude, I do all my projects, I got my stuff that I do and I work on those. And then when I take a break and just scroll through Instagram, it's I get back to my stuff and I'm good. I don't sit there for 2 hours. I'm not every time my phone dings, but I do fucking like checking it. And
I like Instagram. Instagram is pretty nice. I also like scrolling Reddit a bit, but I'm at a point in my life now where it's kind of like when I told you about video games. My back hurts. Guess it's time to stop.
Yeah.
I'll scroll and I'll be like, what am I doing? And I'll either switch to my Russian app. Well, that's what I've been doing recently the past couple of days. Or I'll be like, guess it's time to do something else. Go play darts or read a book or do something,
So I feel like I get a pretty good control on that when it's getting to the point where alright, you've just looked at maybe 10 things that you don't give a fuck about. It's usually pretty, I think, very healthy. It's just it's time, and then
I'd say my social media use right now is at its pretty healthiest. But what do I do after I want to chill after a long day? If I'm really on point, I will go home from work. I'll work out, watch the news, which is Philip DeFranco.
Okay.
So 15 minutes, 25 tops. Have my shower, and then I'll just game. I'd like to get to a point. What I would like to do is
baths. We're both big bath guys.
Baths, but I find the tricky thing with me and baths after work is I'll do my shit. I'll go up, take my bath, fall asleep in the tub, wake up at 4 in the morning, go back to bed, and be like, can't sleep because I've already slept, and then stay awake for a bit in bed until it's, just about the time I could fall asleep again, and then, get kind of a shitty sleep before work.
Yeah.
But if I'm, after a long day, typically it's video games, I would like to get it to a point where it's art and just turning my phone off to listen to music, and I'm doing meditation before bed and reading, but that's a goal for me, I guess.
Yeah.
That I can work on.
I think you'll get to a point where your long day is a long day of having done art, and then your chill will be your...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because if I was to answer this question kind of like an asshole, like, after a long day, I gotta go to fucking bed. I want to chill. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not, like... You know, people talk about, like, oh, they gotta decompress.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have experienced that, but it's not consistently. I mean, I also have basically withdrawn from the stressful work life.
I find nowadays
so.
I need less time to decompress after work, and
Yeah.
I think that honestly directly ties to me feeling better about what I'm doing with my time. Like, you know, feeling better about myself. So, like, when I wake up and I get my workout in, I go to work, and I'm reading my book when I've got a second. I'm smoking less. Obviously, I'm not drinking. I'm staying away from other substances that shall not be named.
Yeah.
You know, I'm staying healthy. I'm looking after myself. I'm thinking better about myself. I'm, you know, reworking the patterns in my brain that would make me feel like shit.
Yeah.
Like, when I go home, it's like, okay, I'll play a little bit of video games. Then it's like, yeah, it's time for bed. It's time to go.
Direct correlation then to...
Yeah, well, that's...
The healthier you live, the less decompressing you need to fucking do.
Well, I think the healthier you feel, you know? Yeah. Like, because I find that when, like, decompression comes from, you are stressed, at least subconsciously, about not getting done what you want to in a day, or you don't feel good about your day.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, right now, I kind of accept that where I am in life is where I need to be. Yeah. And so it's like, right now, it's not like I'm being defeated every day by having a day job.
Yeah.
You know, like, right now, it's a means to an end, and that's what, you know, it's not my passion, but it's something that I need to do right now, and
yeah,
I go put my time in, I do what I want when I have a minute, and then I go home, and I'm like, alright, now I need to start doing art before I play video games, so I noticed that. I need to come home and be like, because I'll sit and I'll be like, yeah, I'm sure, I want to draw right now, but I'm sure that feeling will stay after I've played an hour of Borderlands.
Yeah.
And then, surprise, surprise, I play Borderlands, and I'm like, my back hurts, I'm going to bed.
Yeah. Fuck. I feel like I almost should have answered what's your guilty pleasure is fucking not having a goddamn job. But that is one that I may feel guilt about here and there, but generally, no. Not when I consider all the benefits.
Yeah.
Number 19, how'd you spend your ideal weekend? I can answer that. I'm going to keep this pretty grounded and practical, but my weekends recently have been pretty good. Wake up Saturday morning early enough to go to the farmer's market with my wife. We'll get some groceries for the week, and we'll get some snacks, bring them over to my parents' place. We'll share said snacks, have a game of crib with them, come back to the house. We haven't figured out that the best way to use that time, what we do when we come back. And then the next day, we'll wake up, do whatever we do, and then we will make sweet love. Then we go to the skate park in the evenings, and that's been pretty good, you know, to keep it sort of grounded. My ideal weekend, like, fuck, I don't know, I fly to Europe. Like, I could say shit like that, but
I think my ideal weekend would be being out in nature, either with a really good friend or with a love interest. I do miss. I do like going out in nature when you can feel love out in the wild.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about coitus. I just mean, you know, experiencing adventure with a loved one, partner.
Yeah, coitus.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that quite. Anyway, just alright. Ideal weekend. I'm so excited to smoke my pipe out in nature, though.
That's a good one. I do love smoking cigs, walk through the woods. That's never say no to that. Number 20. You know, anything more to your ideal weekend? I think we wrap that one up. Number 20, do you listen to podcasts or mostly just music? What's your favorite podcast?
Better be Smugglers Cove.
It's fucking Smugglers Cove. Oh shit. I'm not a big podcast guy.
When I am a podcast guy, yeah, I've already said on Smugglers, I like Stuff You Should Know.
Yeah.
If I'm not listening to stuff you should know, I'll listen to No Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
For a while there, I was listening to one called Sober Awkward by these two middle-aged British women talking about their journey into sobriety.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the demographic for that one. Well, I kind of am, but it didn't...
Yeah.
I found it almost just like, when I was just starting out being sober and having them be like, well, I've been sober for 6 months, and I was just thinking, 6 months? I'm
taking advice from you? Yeah.
I'm lasting... Well, for me, it was I can't get through 4 days. 6 months just seemed like such an impossible goal. Mm-hmm. And now that I've been sober for a month and a half,
mm-hmm.
it kind of seems to me like I don't need to listen to this because all it does is remind me that I used to have a life of drinking. Yeah. Whereas if I don't listen to this and just focus on other things, to me it's almost like you want the support, but it doesn't help because other people are doing better than you, mm-hmm. and it makes you feel bad, so you want to drink about it. But then when you're at that level, I don't want to talk about it, or be like...
Yeah, it serves its purpose as a stepping stone, basically.
Well, to me it really didn't. To me it was just I saw some things that were...
Well, you literally just said they said 6 months, and you're like, I can't even do 4 days.
Yeah.
Is that not a little bit of a...
But it was still just boring stuff and just listening. I don't know. I didn't find it helped. No offense to them. Those ladies seem really nice, and I'm glad that they're on that journey, and I'm glad to be, kind of following in their footsteps, their middle-aged British footsteps.
Yeah.
But that was not a podcast. I don't know why I went on a tangent, but yeah, No Sleep and Stuff You Should Know, my favorites.
Yeah. I like Gifted Hater. He's a skate critic. If he puts stuff out, it's podcast-esque. He just sits there and kind of goes through skate videos or critique stuff. Ben DeGrow, he's kind of, I'm not really podcast, but he is another, it's educational fucking talking, and but really mostly music. I got the Caius Welcome to Sky Valley CD recently. Been loving that. Another song I came upon just by I woke up one morning and I was thinking of what to tell Alexa to play, and I find that's a headache sometimes. It's when you have all of the options at your fingertips, mm-hmm. It's almost paralyzing. And for whatever reason, Weird Al came to mind first. I'm like, fuck it, I'm listening to Weird Al this morning.
Is that when I woke up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it was not, even when I thought of the idea, I was like, this is fucking retarded, Caleb, but alright, you're listening to Weird Al, he's there in your head, and he's got a song called Party in the CIA, and it is fucking awesome. Yeah. I mean, Party in the USA is catchy and nice, and yeah, he does some fucking funny ass lines.
I love White and Nerdy. I love it. It's such a good song.
Yeah.
And I think I've heard White and Nerdy. I might have heard Ride and Dirty once.
Yeah.
But why would I listen to Ride and Dirty when I can listen to White and Nerdy?
I feel like Amish Paradise I've heard more than Gangster's Paradise.
I wish I could say the same.
Yeah.
I don't like that song, Gangster's Paradise. Just don't. No.
No, I'm saying I heard Amish Paradise more than Gangster's Paradise.
I know. I'm just saying I don't like
Gangster Paradise or Amish Paradise.
No, Amish Paradise is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. It's not a favorite because it still reminds me of Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah.
I like that it makes fun of a song that's used too much.
Yeah.
Where
do you hear Gangster's Paradise? Places.
Yeah.
You don't know these places?
Well, the internet, I know that they did I know that they used Gangster's Paradise for the fucking Sonic movie. Yeah, figure that one out. Riddle me that, Batman, but... That Sonic movie was something else all in and of itself. But
get it together, Hollywood.
Get it together, Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, right now I'm listening to more music. My love of synthwave grows.
Mm-hmm.
But I am getting back into Oi, so that's pretty fun. I don't mind that at all.
I have to show you a British band called Slaves. Do you know them? Yeah, I think they're in line with the Oi.
Okay. There's a few Oi songs. I don't want to listen to any music right now, but when we wake up, I'll put on some music for us.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Number 21. Do you prefer to go to the movies or watch movies at home? If it's a movie I want to see, I'm going to go to the fucking movies, but...
I like the theaters as a treat.
Yeah.
It's a fun date.
Yeah.
I find it's more of a fun date when you know, like, it's not. I don't think it's a good first date. I think it's a fun date to go with a girlfriend, not a prospective love interest. But
yeah,
movies are fun. One time, Trav and I, we went and saw Demon Slayer in the movies. Like, they didn't even have like a billboard up for it. It was just like Demon Slayer sharpied on fucking paper. And, like, you just went in and, like, you wouldn't look at Travis and think he's a huge anime nerd, but he just loves anime. I love that about him. So we're, like, sitting there and, like, everyone else in the theater is, anime.
Yeah.
That was really fun. I was binge watching Demon Slayer on Netflix to try and catch up. Mind you, the vodka kind of it hurt my plan a bit. Because I had to be like, I don't remember this at all. Like... Sometimes I had a strategy back in the day. I'd sit with my bottle and I'd just like keep drinking until the subtitles started getting fuzzy. And so that's how I knew it was time to go to bed. I was just like, alright, I can't read the words, it's time to sleep.
Jesus Christ. I don't think I've ever once got plastered alone. I mean, I've been, obviously, come back from a party, been shit-faced and stayed up for a while, and, had drinks.
Yeah, but that's a nightcap.
Yeah, it's not the same.
That was a regular thing. My 40 of vodka and Netflix curled up in my reading chair, where it was in my room, where it used to be. It's, I would get on Reddit and start messaging Russians, like posting on the Russian subreddits, like, "Привет из Canada," because I used to drink Russian Standard back when you could get it in New Brunswick, and they were so fucking happy. Like, all these Russians on Reddit were just freaking out because there's this Canadian guy talking Russian to them and drinking Russian Standard vodka. Like, I was a little bit of a celebrity for a night there or two. And they were telling me, like, "Are you drinking it just warm?" Like, like, yeah, I don't have ice. They're like, "Please, Canadian man, please get ice." Like, unless you're from Siberia and you have the ice in your blood, please just drink it cold. But yeah, so movies, fun. But I like to watch movies just at friends' places, and for the majority of the time, maybe it's just a money thing. Also, movies, I don't like how you have to pick your seats now. I really don't like that. I want to just
go. I mean, it's
go
like,
in. I know you can,
if it's
basically.
Packed, it makes sense, but yeah. You know what I would say is my favorite is going to a movie alone. That is just... I think I told you this story. I was doing grocery shopping. Did I tell this on the podcast? I think I just told it to you on the podcast. But anyways, I was going grocery shopping, and I finished that. It was in the afternoon. I realized it was Tuesday, so it's around like 4 or something. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go to a movie. Like, my wife wasn't off work. I was like, I'll catch a fucking matinee. Yeah. Tuesday, it's sheep days here, and New Brunswick, maybe all over Canada. I fucking know about it.
I don't know. I have to up to Cineplex.
Yeah, get together, Cineplex.
All they do is they have cheap movies on Tuesdays.
Yeah, maybe you got together. So, anyways, I go and I look through the list of movies, and I went to go watch a trailer, and I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just going to pick this movie. I like the name of it. So I went in, bought a ticket. And, of course, like you're saying, the seat selection. So there's 3 other people in the movie theater. Anyways, I click my seat. I go sit down. And I sit down, and all I hear is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I turn around. Then there's one of my best friends, Justin. He had went to the movie by himself. We didn't know. It was just like, of all the 3 people that could be at this movie, there he is. And I just went on a complete whim. Didn't even know what the fuck the movie I was about to see was about. It was just, that name sounds the coolest of all these. And it was a movie he had wanted to see and just thought nobody wanted to go with him. And so, yeah, we just sat there and watched the movie together.
What was the movie?
I don't fucking know. It's like a horror movie, kind of. I don't know. There's fucking weird dudes crawling on a lawn and shit, and I think it might have been something to do with Jordan Peele movies.
Oh, Get Out or
Yeah.
We're Back. No, wait, We're Back's the show about dinosaurs.
And it also very well couldn't have been. Honestly, it was decent. I wouldn't go watch it again, I don't think, but
yeah,
it wasn't bad, and it was just kind of this beautiful synchronicity of, well, I'm just gonna go catch a fucking movie. I went and watched the J.R.R. Tolkien movie by myself. That was pretty good. I went and saw Harry Potter, or like the new ones, whatever the fuck they are.
The Hobbit?
No, not like Harry Potter. It has a new series.
So J.K.
Like,
Rowling, you mean?
No, so I went to go see the J.R.R. Tolkien movie. It's about him.
What?
It's like...
What?
Yeah. It's,
what? I haven't heard about that.
No, I anytime I brought it up, nobody's ever heard of it. I like watching movies about authors, so
yeah.
I saw that it was coming out.
Well, and Tolkien was a beast, man.
It was awesome. It was just a movie about, him and how he sort of came to write the stuff he wrote. Followed him through his college years. That was kind of the most expanded on part, and yeah, it was good. But then also I went and saw whatever the prequels to the Harry Potters are. Trying to like Beasts of Fantastic something or other. I don't know. Magical creatures. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I did
something
see
or other.
those.
Yeah. So
my nephew just yesterday he goes, "You got all the Harry Potter books." Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Harry Potter? I go, buddy.
I'd hope.
I have the box set of all the books on my shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I like Harry Potter? Yeah. Why are you asking me? I did the same thing with my niece. She saw me flipping my coin.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Do you like flipping your coin?" I go, "Dear, is there anyone with a gun to my head making me flip this coin?" "No." "Do you think then that I'm doing it of my own volition?" "Yeah."
It sounds like they could benefit more from reading Logan Hailey's list.
Well, yeah, maybe. And then I just like, okay, so perhaps, that I like flipping the coin, instead of asking me if I like flipping the coin, ask me why. Why do I like flipping the coin? And then I motion to her, and she goes, "Why are you like flipping the coin?" Okay, thank you. Mm-hmm. And then I tell her about all the reasons that I like flipping the coin. It's like, see, there you can make an actual conversation instead of just asking really stupid shit.
Yeah.
And making me get annoyed with you because I know you're smarter than that. You're just come on, dude.
Yeah, you're not called to do so very often, so step up to the plate, honey dear.
Yeah.
Alright. What was your favorite TV show growing up?
Ooh.
Stella? Fucking Stella.
So, do we want to do, different periods of time?
Well, cap it, 18. Anything up until 18, I would say. I know that we're still growing after 18, but to me, this is probably kind of suggesting young stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I like Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo was dope.
Batman. I like gargoyles a lot. Watch gargoyles.
I only got to see Gargoyles after I was like 20 because I downloaded it. I wasn't allowed to watch it as a kid. Batman the Animated Series. If I had to choose one, that would be it. Yeah. Batman the Animated Series.
With you on that. Oh, Full House. My sister and I fucking watched Full House like a motherfucker.
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement. That's fucking good.
Boy Meets World was a big one when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I used to watch Cops a lot with my brothers on Saturdays, too.
Well, I went to Europe first time, whatever. My buddy and I were at my uncle's house. I think this was like the last leg of our journey. And so we were, kind of drying out, so to speak. We had booze-filled extravaganza. We're sitting there, we're watching British Cops, and, the Bobby gets a phone call. There's this trucker on the side of the road, and they're concerned because he's been parked there for a long time. So, comes out, fucking lights on, pulls up, walks over to the trucker, talks, you see on the dash cam, talks, right? Comes back, and he sits in the car, and he's like, well, turns out he was just having a shave. It was a little weird spot to be having a shave, but all is well. And we just fucking lost it because it was so intense, and then it's like, this is so British. It's just like, fuck. Anyways,
that's
Cops.
I didn't know they had British Cops. Is it called Cops Britain or something? It should be called Bobbies.
Yeah, it's something to that effect. I don't think it was called Bobby's, but he had
be.
the hat and shit. And Dawson's Creek, that was another one. My sister and I watch that like a motherfucker too.
MASH. MASH was a favorite show growing up.
Family Matters. You ever watch that with Urkel? Did I do that?
I had to. My parents were pretty strict on what we could watch and what we couldn't.
Pretty against all black comedies.
Oh, that was a black comedy?
Yeah.
I could watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fuck, that's good, yeah. I like that one. What's the other fucking... That's So Raven. You ever watch That's So Raven?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
No, not like that, but yeah. It didn't strike me as the worst one. I liked Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show.
Not sure if I ever saw the TV show.
There was one episode they had garbage zombies that gave me nightmares. But that was a pretty good show back in the day. Recess.
Fuck yeah, yeah.
Oh man, Spinelli was my fucking crush hard when I was a kid.
She the tall girl with glasses?
No, it's Gretchen.
It was Spinelli.
Spinelli was the butch chick with the... She wore the stockings and the dress and the leather jacket with the cap. Like,
It's all coming back.
Oh! Little me was just like, Tomboy Spinelli. Like, punch me, please.
My first, TV crush was Relic Hunter.
Oh, my first TV crush... No, now that I think... Relic Hunter?
Yeah. You know who Tia Carrera is?
No.
Fucking sexy. Still to this day.
Xena, Warrior, Princess.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, no, that was... Little me was... Well, I mean, big me. I'm allowed to be into Xena stuff.
Yeah. I was telling you the story of this fucking girl I went to carpentry class with, and she just burned fucking Xena Warrior seasons on DVD, from her fucking laptop. And just sit beside her and fucking noises. Don't understand. Still don't understand. When I was a little kid, probably 6, I think I might have been... I feel like this was before school, though, because I had a lot of time to watch these shows. But I guess it was on weekends, so either way, I was pretty young. I wasn't so much into cartoons. I did, Batman, Gargoyles, and Scooby-Doo. But they had this channel that would just play Westerns.
Okay.
And every Saturday, I'd just get up and watch Western after Western. Just love the Cowboys. I don't really even remember, any of the ones I watched. I just, have all these mixed mashed pictures and images of, cowboys on horses and various desert ranch looking fucking scenery. But yeah, I was hella big into cowboys.
I only got into westerns after college because, to me, westerns, in my mind, I attributed it to country music, and I didn't like country music.
No, these are cool cowboys.
Yeah, no. So then I finally started watching westerns, and I was like, I have been depriving myself. Myself. I still haven't watched a bunch, but every western I've seen, I've liked since then.
Yeah.
I mean, Unforgiven, we mentioned that one before. Clint Eastwood, I mean, how can you go wrong? I still haven't seen The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, but...
See, I've seen Good, Bad, and the Ugly. It is...
As everyone should, which I will eventually do.
Yeah, we'll swap places, and I'll go watch Unforgiven. Alright, number 23. Well, I guess it's fitting that we kept it 18 and under. What's your favorite TV show now? True Detective, Season 1, specifically. And Sherlock, the BBC version.
I haven't watched it in a while, but I really liked Farza, that Russian show I told you about. Farza. Also, they did Sparta, was a really good one. Same main actor in it. And then there was one called, I think it's The Methodist, perhaps. It's another Russian show. And he's just like this off the hinge, like he's like Russian Sherlock Holmes. In like, I'm going to assume like, you know, pretty much modern day Russia. And it's just like, it's so cool just to see the interactions. Russian shows on Netflix, check those out, they're dope. There was another one, Better Than Us, which was kind of about cyborgs or no, not cyborgs, androids. And like, can they be people? That one was really good. I should check and see if see if that's still there, because I would like to go back and watch them. Right now I'm watching through a series called The Forest, or La Forêt. It's originally French.
Tell me that.
That's a pretty good one. I'm like 2 episodes away from finishing that. But I'd say for like English programming, I like You. It follows this guy named Joe, who is this really calculated and observant dude, who is also kind of a serial killer and stalker. Nice. He doesn't mean to be, of course, but in his brain, like he justifies it. It's really interesting. It's interesting watching it. It was interesting watching it again. Now that I'm in a much healthier mindset. And being like, oh, wow. Like, there were things that I agreed with in the show at other points in my life. And then watching it back now, I was like, I'm glad I grew as a person.
There's a lot of good BBC shit. I guess when I was watching... Oh, Letterkenny. I forgot. I fucking love
Letterkenny. I've seen the first season. Oh. That's a good one.
Yeah, Letterkenny's goddamn good. What is it? So I watch a lot of BBC shit because I just always found British shit to be more interesting. Marcella is a really good one.
Okay.
Dr. Foster was a good one. And Still Game. Still Game is, but you would love Still Game. It's just this British sitcom, and it's like these half-hour episodes of these old fucking like Scottish guys.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, they're going to the pub and they're like talking to their, you know, crazy friends, and it's they're getting into shenanigans, and there's this like reoccurring bit with this junkie that they just keep trying to get rehabilitated, and there's a dude with a fake leg, Winston, and he's always it's damn good.
I honestly really enjoy European television. British is good.
Yeah.
But I find like European television they really honor film as an art form.
Yeah.
I also like seeing into that, the more the culture of it, because I notice in more Western media, you have this really judgmental outlook on people, like, oh, you did this bad thing, how could you? Whereas like with Europeans, it seems almost more like with a lot of things that we would consider like harsh social taboos.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what, you fuck up, that sucks.
Yeah.
You know, but like you are still a good person.
Yeah.
I find it's a lot more wholesome.
Yeah.
You know, like instead of like in one the show at La Forêt that I'm watching.
Yeah.
This guy, he's an alcoholic because he lost his wife.
Good.
No, wait, not lost his wife. He accidentally burned down a... Well, he didn't accidentally burn down a building, but he killed 2 people by burning down a building. He didn't know they were there. And, like, he's an alcoholic, and, you know, like, he hits his daughter at one point. He slaps her. And, like, you know, the policewoman's like, you can't be doing that. Like, you know? And it's... And, like, yeah, it is serious to be hitting your children. At the same time, like...
To be fair, she did say several while she was wearing sweatpants. So...
Well...
I sympathize with the main character.
Well, he's not a main character, he's a side character, but still, like,
main
you know, he's still, yeah. Doing a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, in the heat of a moment especially... should not condemn you as this horrible, wretched thing, you know? Like, it is obviously important to better yourself and to realize you've done wrong, but I find that it's a much healthier mindset to be like, don't do that, you know?
Yeah.
You're better than that. Build yourself up to be better instead of like, feel bad. Always feel bad. Never do bad things ever again. You must always make up. You will always be on this road of redemption and just like self-punishment and self-flagellation. Like it
fucking straight white male.
Yeah.
Europe does it better. There we go. It's our big brothers anyways. You know what? You also don't see a lot of the fucking trash TV shows coming out of there. Like all the fucking... I know that there is some dating shows, but it's doesn't seem like they don't have like Deadliest Catch from fucking Sweden.
I think Deadliest Catch is a bad example of a trash TV show.
But I mean, what I'm saying is, it doesn't seem like they've jumped that hard on the reality TV train as we have. Yeah. And there's a number of reality TV shows that are just like, oh, for fuck's sakes, you know?
Yeah.
So,
well, I think, you know, it's definitely a cultural thing. I know that there's this one Russian show where they had a bunch of people you had to stand and keep your hand on a car. Yeah. For like the longest period of time, and there's this one girl that went on in like a bikini, and she was talking mad shit to this dude. And the guy just goes over, fucking slaps the shit out of her face, and then puts his hand back on the car, and they're like, no, you're out. And like everyone just like, this poor girl, like, oh, you poor darling getting hit. And it's like, well, you were sitting there talking mad shit. Like, just, like, I don't know, it might even be that, I think she might have, like, thrown her shoe at him or spat at him or something, spit at him or something. Yeah. Sorry, I know there are several words I can't say anymore, but...
You're forgiven for you are my friend, but you're not my friend. That is not how you become my friend.
And obviously, this is not the road to friendship. Obviously, don't hit... You know, you shouldn't hit anybody. Don't hit women. You're bigger than that. But like, just seeing like, well, it's just funny seeing like these older producer dudes trying to comfort this woman who's bleeding out of her nose in a bikini. It's just like, well, you showed up to be a slut and a skank and to, you know, bitch at people, and then you got your comeuppance, and then you want to whine.
Yeah.
Like we have a saying over here in the West: talk shit, get hit. Like,
not a mystery.
Yeah.
All right. Number 24, how would you spend your birthday money? How would you spend your birthday if money was no object?
I go to Belarus for a month, at least. Listen, if I can celebrate my birthday by drinking for 10 years, then I can celebrate my birthday by going to a different country for a few months. So I know my buddy, you know, Anton. Like he just recently, well, I'd say recently, probably 3-4 months ago, got back from Belarus. Man, I wish I'd gone with him, but like it was like I would love to go Well, basically go to Europe, but like if I could go to a Russian-speaking country,
Oh yeah,
then I'm down.
that's in your cards for sure.
Well, it's gotta be. Yeah, that's how I spend my birthday. Traveling. If you know, if you want to break it down to lowest common denominator, traveling.
I mean, I'm still going to fucking Arby's, so going to Arby's, and I'm eating my fucking 2 beef and cheddars, large curly fry, glass of water, multiple glass of water.
Speaking of which,
gonna fucking smoke a cigar, probably go skate somewhere nice. I don't know what the best skate park I've ever skated is, but
South Africa. You just love the vibe there.
Fucking South Africa. Yeah, it looks like a fun place to go, but if I'm gonna go somewhere, I would go probably to... I'm going to a place I know for sure is gonna be good, right? Like I had a lot of fun with Glasgow when I was in Glasgow. My birthday's in the winter, so I'm thinking that a bit, like, you know, go down to Peru and take ayahuasca. That doesn't seem like a fucking bad birthday.
No.
But, yeah. I just, you know, birthday is also for me about seeing some of my family and friends, so they would be involved somehow. I would just go to Arby's with all my friends. Bring all my friends to Arby's.
Just buy an Arby's.
And they would have all the Arby's they want. And then we'd go next door to Prohibition and get a bunch of cigars. Yeah, sounds good to me. I'm a simple man and a complex man, but that all seems good to me. I might go buy a really nice hat.
There you go. Treat yourself.
Gotta get myself a nice article of clothing. Some nice shoes. Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe now I'm into instruments, real nice bass or some guitar pedals.
Yeah.
That's about it. Nothing too lavish. Number 25. What's your favorite season? What do you love most about it?
I have to say summer, just because of all the things I can do. Right, that's where I can go hiking. I can go to the beach. I can go traveling. Road trips, I think, are a lot safer and a lot more fun in the summer.
Yeah,
that's what I love about it. I like all the seasons. I really do. I don't hate winter. I like fall. It's nice and crisp and cool. I think if I had a least favorite, it's probably spring, because here in Eastern Canada, it just doesn't decide if it wants to be winter or summer, and there's a lot of mud and flooding.
We kind of have winter basically until summer-ish. Like, you know, spring, it seems to get more narrow or wider each year. I don't know, it just decides when it stops, and then it's
just all the muck.
Yeah.
Well, and I hate at the end of winter when it like starts getting warmer and like then cooling down, so then you just have like frozen black snow from all the dirt on the road. That's just depressing.
I almost would say a cheat answer, and my favorite season is spring, because I know summer's right after it. Summer's kind of got to be it, just because of how much we can do, especially here in Canada. You guys in LA might not really understand what it's like so much, but and being just... The winter needs an honorable mention, because with snow, also you guys in LA don't know as much about this, it's fucking gorgeous. Snowfall, trees laden with snow.
When there's a nice snowfall at night and you can go walking, it's super quiet. Yeah.
There we go. Basically summer, but if you're Canadian, you do have to fucking give a bit of an honor to the old winter.
Yeah.
Number 26. Do you prefer camping or going to the beach? Camping.
I'd say camping, because then you can camp by a lake.
Yeah.
I like going to the beach. Going to the beach for a day trip is nice, but camping, you typically do that for at least 2 days.
Yeah. You don't really go to the beach overnight.
Well, you can. People do bring tents, but I don't know. It's something that I'd like to do, but I'd say that would be like once a summer thing, whereas camping, I'd want to get camping in, at least once a summer, which I have not been able to do for a few summers, but it's something that I want to do. Yeah. I'd love to do the Dobson Trail. Yeah. Hike the Dobson.
Cape Breton. You want to come to Cape Breton? That's fucking good one. Yeah. I'm camping, just no fucking doubt. The beach's fun, but yeah. Like, I don't want to camp on the beach, wake up in the morning, fucking kids, families and shit. Like, I just want to be camping in the woods. The woods is my favorite nature landscape. So when I lived in BC, I was in Coquitlam, outside Vancouver, for context. Anyways, I could see the mountains, like, just all day from where I was at, and looking at the mountains, I was just like, no, like, you're just sitting there, and you're dry, you don't have any greenery. I didn't get, like, the energy presence I get from seeing, like, forest, as far as you can see.
We do have some really good forests around here in New Brunswick.
Yeah, so that's where it's at.
Being out in the woods really invigorates me too. I love being alone out in the woods. The beach I like going to when it's alone. Like I would drive to the beach like on stormy days.
Yeah,
because then the waves get kicked up. No one's on the beach. And I can go play in the waves and just be a madman. That's just a fun thing that I like to do. But definitely being out in the woods is my preference. I just find beach takes a lot less prep time.
Yeah, because a beach day is fucking nice. Get yourself in the water when it's nice and hot. But yeah, you can do that when you're camping. So it's kind of almost a cheat question for us.
Yeah,
we can have both by going camping.
I love fresh water too. Fresh water, because then you don't get the same kind of sticky feeling after you get out of the beach, and it almost you don't swim in the spots that smell like it's old. Like, when you go to the beach, you can just like seaweed.
Yeah, I would. I just disagree with that. Not disagree, but I prefer salt water over fresh.
Yeah,
and I'm not like, obviously fucking me in the water is all good to me, but yeah, I do like that stickiness, and I love how my hair gets and the salt. And,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like playing in the water. I do enjoy. I love the beach. Don't get me wrong. I do love the beach, but if I have the chance to go to like Gordon Falls as opposed to going to La Boiteau,
yeah, fair. Yeah, because you can jump. Well, I don't know if you jump, but
I don't jump like from a high point, but I do like to jump.
All right, good. We nailed this. Fucking live in Canada. You can just go camping and both. So we win. Canada. Number 27. Which phone app do you think you use the most?
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
Sure. I want to turn into my Russian apps, but even then, there's only so much Russian you can learn in a day. Especially, like I said, at work, I'm trying to pull my book out instead of getting on my phone when there's a quiet minute. So maybe I can. It's more realistic to turn my Russian app drops and memorize, if you're wondering.
Yeah.
Turn those into my most used, but again, there's only so much you can do.
Do you have any phone games? Do you play phone games?
I have a bunch of phone games. The one that I play the most is Necro Merger, because it's just an easy merging game with little monsters.
Okay.
I can play it offline. I also have Crib. There's like a Frogger game on my phone, and one that's called like Whirly Jump, and it's like you tilt your phone and your little character goes whoop, 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 and you can hit springs. And anyway, I try not to play phone games. I'm trying to limit that, but at the same time, it's real easy sometimes just to, like, if I know I'm going to do something or I'm sitting in a car, like, waiting for my buddy to come out, I can just play my Necro Merger and get that done. It takes 5, at most, like 10 minutes to get through my able of like energy charge for the day or for a couple hours. So it's easy for me to put down too, because it's like, okay, well, I'll just come back to this when I can, and I'll be able to play a bit more.
Do you have to leave that app open?
No. Good. No.
I hate leaving apps open on my phone. I never really, I did have a crib game at one point. I really liked the game Boggle. You ever play Boggle? So I had a Boggle version, but it's kind of junk. And then the best phone game I ever had, though, was I had a Samsung, this is before they made all the Galaxies and shit. I had this, I think in grade 11 or 12, and it had this game called Caligo Chaser. And it was this sort of, it's kind of like an RPG a bit, but it was almost more like Street Fighter. You'd come into the screen sideways, and then you'd beat up the fucking enemies, and you would get gear and upgrade it, so it was RuneScape-esque, but it was so yeah, I fucking beat Caligo Chaser, and that was the peak. I never had a game better than Caligo Chaser. I'm sure there's games way better than Caligo Chaser now, but I never, my mom and Diane, they both play kind of fucking popping bubble games, or
Diane likes her Bejeweled.
Yeah. So
I think Bejeweled, or is it the lottery game? I don't know, but anyway.
She has both. Yeah, that's something I never. It's just this funny secret thing she has to herself. See her play it, but never talks about it.
Well, thank God.
I don't know that there's much to say.
I don't know.
Because she uses it as the chill out after a long day thing. It's just fucking
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Would you instead cook, order delivery, or go out to eat?
Depends on the day. Ordering delivery is a pizza thing almost exclusively for me.
Yeah.
I prefer to... Well, it depends. Because obviously I don't want to make my own sushi. I don't want to spend the time.
Yeah.
And I like going to Asian restaurants because you get the atmosphere. Whereas, if you go to Western restaurants, oh great, I get to sit around a bunch of white people with really shitty decor.
Yeah.
So, I prefer to cook most of the time, but going out to eat is fun. It is, as simple as that is. It's nice to go out and get out of the house and be in a different environment. When we go to get breakfast at Say La Vie or whatever, we can, it's nice there.
Yeah, to me, delivery, I don't even know, maybe fucking 3 times a year. Delivery is never... I would cook. Cook is just I don't want to go out, but if I'm fucking gonna go out, Arby's, honestly. And there's some places that are fun to go to, but generally it's just do you want to go out? I always just say Arby's. I like going to sushi, but I really feel like that's a good one, because if I want to go have something that I'm not going to make, sushi for sure. But yeah, fucking Arby's, or eat my smoothie and chips, or the delicious food my wife cooks. That's also nice. How do you drink your coffee?
So I'm just thinking, you're at a party.
Yeah.
And, you walk up, hey, I'm Tony. How do you like your coffee?
You run through these lists of questions, and it's all, a lot of interesting answers, and then you're just how do you drink your coffee? It's you've become the guy with the real interesting questions, but your well runs dry, and you're how do you drink your coffee?
Logan, help me.
Logan.
I drink tea.
If I drink coffee, black, and a very little bit. I once read, I was reading up on different writers, writing habits, and Henry Balzac would drink something 60 cups of coffee a day.
Oh.
So I was alright, I'm gonna just experiment, give this a shot. So I just brew a pot of coffee, drank it, brew another pot of coffee, drank it, brew another pot of coffee. I got, and my pots of coffee, I whatever, is your 6 cups maybe, I don't fucking know. I think I got about 15 cups into me, and I was fucked. I was getting like heart palpitations. I like felt like I needed to walk, and I'd start to walk and be like, I need to sit down. And I'd sit down and be like, I need to stand up, and then I'd stand up and be like, you could walk, and I'd be like, oh, I start walking, like I need to sit. I was a mad fucking man. I was just waiting for it to be done. Like it was like a bad trip.
Yeah.
Anyways,
there was one day I was right fucking hungover, and I was like, I need the energy, and I was at work, so I drank a pot of coffee. And I'm not a coffee drinker. Mm-hmm. Caffeine actually really fucks me up, so I was just like, like I was kind of stuck the same. Like I couldn't do anything, but I needed to do something. But I was just stuck in like this horrible limbo, and then my anxiety was kicking in as my heart was fucking up, and I was just like, I'm going to die. No, you're not. You're gonna live through this, but I'm gonna die. I feel like I'm gonna die. Like this isn't my thing. I don't like coffee. Like No, I can't. For a bit there, I was on the Red Bulls. I don't know if I was telling you.
No.
Well, by that I mean like at most I have like 2 a day, and I was drinking it just for the kick, you know, kind of as a substitute for other things. Mm-hmm. I'm off those now. Like I have like a Red Bull, and I'm like, ew. Like I do not feel good. This is gross. My tummy doesn't like it. My heart doesn't like it. My soul doesn't like it. It's just not. It's not my spirit animal. I'm not one with the Red Bull.
I remember, maybe I told you this story already, but we were somewhere, and there's this monster girl, and she was giving out monsters, and so I'd got like 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was just kind of like free. Like take as much as you want. So I took 4, and so I had them at my house, and I went home, and this, obviously there's some things that are...
Statute of limitations.
What's that?
So you know when you're talking about your best birthday ever, and you're like, I don't know if like the time's run out, statute of limitations. That's what you were talking about.
The time's run out on what?
When you weren't at the place or in the car shooting the marbles at the bus stop.
Ah, yes.
Statute of limitations.
That thing I never did, but it would have been really fun.
Yeah.
To do.
Sorry, that's...
thank you. Yes.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Now I understand. I appreciate. Yeah. So I got these 4 fucking monsters, and so I brought them back to my house, and whenever I went to drink them, it was a couple days later, and again, I have some sort of like, opposite forces going on in my body. I'm pretty fucking stoned, and I go home, and I wanted to watch this movie, and I'm sitting there, I'm like dozing, like, like I have those monsters. So I fucking crack one monster, down it, crack another, down it. I fell asleep like 10 minutes later. I just woke up the next day, like, the fuck is that? Like, didn't work against weed.
Yeah.
It's about, other than Jaeger bombs, that's my whole experience with energy drinks.
Jaeger bombs for me are just fun. I don't find they do anything special.
No, it's just the joy.
Like, it's just yeah.
And we used to get it with the fucking shot glass in the cup. I don't think kids have that anymore.
I was at...
It was the plastic cups, the fucking donut cups.
Oh, man, those are so gross. Like, just give me a glass and another little glass, like, because I know you can't mix them yourself. Let me mix them. Like, but don't give me these stupid donut cups. I remember going to a bar with my buddy. Basically, he'd hang out with me so I could go drink. Because I always just wanted to go to the bars. Surprise, surprise. So, like, we went to this bar, and I was like, oh, Jaeger bombs? They were like $6. And I was like, oh, fuck. Which was a lot at the time.
Yeah, that is a fucking lot for a Jaeger bomb.
So, like, I got it, and she was like, oh, here. And it's just a shitty donut cup, like you said. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, am I drinking out of an alien's toilet? Like, what the hell, man?
Like an alien's diaphragm.
Yeah, really. Like, is this a squid's brain? Like,
fuck it.
Oh wait, no, their esophagus.
Yeah.
Anyway,
basically, coffee, black. If you do have coffee, do you put cream? Sugar?
I no longer do cream or sugar because Russians only believe in sugar. No, sorry, cream or milk. I only put sugar in it.
Yeah.
Because I gotta keep cred with my Plops.
There you go. Yeah. Basically, chamomile tea would be my go-to of a...
I have my chai tea from the David's Tea. I blow that up, have a nice cup. I don't find that the caffeine in tea really affects me that much, so I can just drink that tea and then go to bed and it doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about the same way. Chamomile just calms me down. It's nice, soothing. And
chamomile doesn't do any... Like, people say it's a sleepy tea. I've tried so hard to, like... Mind you, like, I would drink, like, 3 cups of chamomile tea in a row. And be like, why am I tired? I have to go to the bathroom again. But, like... it doesn't have that, like, magical effect on me. I find it's more psychological, where it's like, okay, like, I'm gearing down. I'm having a nice hot cup of chamomile tea. And,
it does give me a bit of a chill, like a chill vibe, but yeah, no, not sleepy. It's usually just calm, and then I can focus better, so even better. Number 30. If you could have any animal as a pet, what would you choose?
Bear, rhino, elephant. Yeah.
As a kid, I always wanted a panther.
I wanted a pet skunk, but with the scent gland taken out.
Just picture you, like, you know, some suit jacket with the fucking weird scarf shit they have, and just, like...
Yeah. Honestly, I'd still be down. Like, the scent gland has to be taken out, but...
Of course.
You know...
Yeah.
Skunks, they look dope. I remember being really upset because I was at this church program called Kingdom Kids. It was like youth group, but for like 10-year-olds. And I was like, I want a pet skunk. Because like to me it was just common knowledge you could have a pet skunk and have the scent gland taken out, and people laughed at me and I cried. But anyway,
you learned a valuable lesson that day.
Yeah, don't tell people about your interests,
your hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
They will be shattered.
But yeah, because elephants are just amazing. And if I could have any animal as a pet, then I'm assuming that I would have, like, you know, the thousands of acreage that I would require to house this beautiful, majestic, intelligent creature. And rhinos, apparently rhinos are, like, well, not apparently. Rhinos are super territorial and aggressive in the wild because they, like, know the dangers around. When rhinos are in captivity, they become giant puppy dogs. They love to be scratched and petted, and they aren't aggressive at all. They're just these really sweet, kind, gentle giants when they know that they're safe. So like rhinos in zoos are actually just like but that being said, like rhinos' eyesight is so bad they'll see a boulder and be like, another male, and they'll fucking charge boulders. I don't know if you've ever seen a rhino go after a car. Like it just is terrifying. I remember watching one video where like this I think it was a water buffalo tried to face off against a rhino, and it's like the water buffalo's boys were just standing back watching this thing, like, and the rhino's just like, what's that? Like gores the water buffalo between the legs and is just like throwing it around on its horn. Like, what are you doing, man? Why are you trying to fight a rhino? Like, anyway, it's just their nature's tank. Well, hippos are really nature's tank, but I wouldn't want one as a pet because they're terrifying.
Yeah, they can eat you like a motherfucker. Those
no, things. They don't eat you. They just kill you real good.
Well,
they're completely herbivorous. But they just like to kill.
You.
Yeah, no, they're vicious. They're like one of the most dangerous animals in the world. Like, if I was a supervillain, I'd have a moat filled with hippos. Like, hippos are just tanks. And you look at their muscle structure. Like, we look at them and like, oh, they must be all big and tubby. Like, yeah, they have an insulating layer of blubber. They're nothing but fucking muscle. The way they swim, like, down below, is they walk on the bottom of the lake. Because they're just that fucking dense. They're just like, fuck you, water. I'm not buoyant unless I want to be. Just Satan's mouth opens up and your boat's gone.
Well, there we go. Crocodile might be cool. It was cool.
Vulture. I think if ever I have like a big house, in my study, which will also like have a library, I'll have a vulture on a perch.
Real one or stuffed one?
A real one. Any animal is a pet. I want a real vulture. And I'd let him sit on my shoulder too. You know.
And people have this thing.
Sure, someone does. If I'm rich enough to have a library and a study in my mansion, I'm sure I can procure a vulture somehow.
A lynx. I like the lynx because lynx are like crazy solitary. I just like me and the lynx just chill in the mountain, of which I hate because it's not the forest, but I have my lynx, so yeah.
I mean, you could find a forest near the foot of a mountain, I'm sure.
That's true, but we wouldn't go there because we're solitary and isolated.
You could have like a timeshare in the forest cabin, and then someone has to go up and sit in the mountain for a bit and get grumpy enough to go back down to the woods.
Keep trading.
Yeah. Give each other a thumbs up when you're passing each other, just clock in and out.
That's a symbiotic relationship.
Yep, you and your lynx.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've always wanted to get, I will eventually, but a lynx face. I want somebody to do it real nice, like just like almost like a pencil drawing kind of thing. Someday she'll be on there. Someday sooner than later. Number 31. Do you enjoy being alone? How do you spend your time alone?
I feel like we've answered this.
Not
that it being alone, but like, how do you spend your time alone?
Yeah, spend my time alone. I write, I paint, I draw.
Yeah, basically everything I do after a long day is what I do.
Play tech decks.
When I have alone time. Do I like being alone? Most of the time. Well, I wouldn't say most of the time. I do enjoy being alone. I kind of have different spurts. Like, there are days where I really want to see people and get together, do Smugglers Cove, go to Banya, stuff like that. But there are other days where it's just like, get away from me. Get the hell away from me. I turn I'll put on music and not look at my phone and just kind of hang out and chill. I've been having a lot more of those days lately where it's just like, I hate looking at my phone because someone's talking to me.
Yeah. If I could, and I eventually will later on in my life, I will spend years and years alone, and that is just, I have friends and family that I like to tend to and keep in good standing with and enjoy their company while they are here, but let me tell you, my time is coming. Far from now, but I fucking love it, man. Just love it.
Yeah.
Think so good when you just don't have anything else to do but think. I do, at least. What the fuck is this? Number 32, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Well, what was I feel like the other question, what are some of your pet peeves or something?
Yeah, Louise, what are your biggest pet peeves?
What is your biggest pet
peeve? I have to choose just one. Fuck. Could just still go with the several one. I really do hate that. It could just be vapid people, but I mean sometimes that's not their fault.
Well, and you can have good-hearted vapid people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Inconsiderate, manipulating people. But pet peeves I find is a specific action, not just who we don't like as people.
Fair. I've got one then. You ever talk to somebody and they smack their lips every single fucking word they say? That, yeah. It doesn't happen often, but I've met people like that, and it's do you not fucking hear yourself? Every word is followed by a... I can't even do it right. It's more saliva-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like when you're trying to have a conversation and you're in a group or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and you could be trying to say the same sentence 3 times, and you'll get to the middle of a sentence, and someone will just like break in and talk over you. At that point, like I just don't talk. Like I don't see any point in like calling it out, because it might not even be that I want to say anything important. I just want to chime in with a stupid story or a dumb comment, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, if I have to fight this hard to be a part of this conversation, it's not worth my time. I remember one time in college, I literally would get through into the middle of a sentence, and this dude would just talk over me. And like, it's like, I could throw you off the balcony right now, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And like, he was the nicest guy. I'm not quite sure why he just kept doing it, because I don't know, because he's the kind of dude that would buy himself flowers after a hard day. Like, he doesn't seem like, this conversational terrorist. Like, what are you doing, man?
That is fucking weird. Yeah. Share the talking stick, folks.
Yeah, and I know that I can break into conversations too. I break that down to my social retardation, just not knowing when I should speak. Like, because sometimes thoughts will just pop in my head, and I'll just be like, "Well, it wasn't the time for that, Tony." Like, oh shit, sorry. Like,
yeah, but it's not your fucking go-to. There you have it.
Yeah.
Number 33. Are you more of an extrovert or introvert? Depends. I mean, if I'm gonna just play the game with them, I will say introvert. I could pick this apart, but I'm just...
No, I'd say I'm more of an introvert now, especially since I've been focusing more on my well-being.
Yeah.
Because I've always been better off in like one-on-one dynamics anyway. I do like group dynamics, but I find that I can actually enjoy them more genuinely now than before, because before, I was just like usually drinking, trying to hit that dopamine, trying to get that serotonin by having people like me and everything, and now it's just like, wait, I like me, that's enough, I don't need to talk to any of you. Like, so, but you know what? That being said, it's made me realize and not take for granted the relationships that I do have.
Yeah.
Because now it's I'm not just looking for attention to feed feed the void. Like, I'm actually feeling that myself. So it's like I can sit and be like, no, like someone's talking. Like, enjoy what they're saying and think about what they're saying and be a decent person.
There it is. Number 34. How would your closest friends describe you?
Depends on the friends. But I'd like to say intelligent, hilarious, creative, weird. That's, I think, basically my skill set.
Yeah.
Eclectic. One of my friends actually described me as eclectic. He's like, not weird, Tony, you're eclectic. Okay, fine. Yeah, I do like collecting a bunch of stuff. But
more on the nose. I would say they would say eccentric. Probably creative and giving.
Definitely, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, eccentric in the nicest way.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah, there you go. Number 35. When you're in a bad mood, is there something or someone that can instantly make it better? Who or what? Fucking astrology.
Depends on the bad mood for me. Like, sometimes I just need to be left alone to deal with my... Like, if I'm angry...
Yeah.
It's best just to leave me alone. If I'm sad, then having someone just talk to me I have a friend who spams me on Instagram Reels.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be like, sorry for the spam, I'll stop the spam now. And I'm like, you don't know. Like, just keep hitting me with this spam. I told her, like, it makes me feel loved.
Yeah.
Like, hit me with that spam. I don't care. I can watch videos. It doesn't matter to me. If I'm in a really bad mood, if I'm in a relationship, obviously, that girlfriend at the time can usually soothe that. But,
yeah. I just need to be alone. It's that. Talking to people is always just like, yeah, occasionally it's cathartic and helps just via the catharsis. Doesn't usually breed the advice that I want. So that's why I say astrology. Because I can look at that and get more of the wisdom that I need to handle.
I find if I'm truly, like, hurting at the time, talking to people can help, but at the end of the day, like, you really have to give yourself that. You know, like, it's nice to have company, but your answers are inside.
Yep. Amen, brother.
The same note, though, my friend Lana from in Krasnodar, like, if I'm having a bad day and I see a message from her pop up, it's like, dope, I get to listen to an angel's voice about beautiful things. Like, yippee-ki-yay! Like, let's talk about, like, the spirit and healing the soul, and let's dance, girl. Like, get on that Zoom call. Nice. Do some interpretive dance. Conscious motion, she calls it.
It is.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. I don't feel like I have a person. Like, I like talking to my mom, or I like talking to my wife, or I've shared some of my problems with you. Parley's good for that too, but yeah, it's just kind of, you guys do me a favor by letting me sound it out, and occasionally that's just the perfect remedy.
I find that with a lot of, like, my thought processes, which you might notice on the podcast. I get talking, and, like, in my brain, I can't do point counterpoint. So when I'm talking, then I'll be like, well, then what about this? And then I'll, like, kind of play devil's advocate against myself and just work through the problem on my own, which I think you can kind of accomplish with writing as well. Like, I need to get back to journaling because that was something that was really quite therapeutic. But being able to talk, having people that are willing to listen when I just need to bitch is really helpful. Like, my buddy Matt, my best friend Matt, he's one of the guys that I can just, like, message, like, man, I am having a shit day. This is what's going on. And I'd be like, bro, that's so fucking rough. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Like,
good friend.
Just like, and it'd just be like, people sound like assholes, dude. I'm like, thanks, man. Good
to have for our friends. Tony, what is the best gift you've ever received? I know my answer. You want me to just say mine?
Yeah, go for yours.
Daniel Borden. Thank you forever and ever. My friend gave me, I don't like Pink Floyd. Sometimes people don't like Pink Floyd. It's too fucking slow and spacey, man. Like, there's a couple songs, of course, that I do like, but generally,
for me,
I'm
it's
not hunted down.
Just how popular they are. I always steer clear of them.
That part also hurts me too. It's like, okay, fucking stoner hippie behind Moncton High. Pink Floyd is God. Shut the fuck up. Give me my weed. So he brought to me one day at work this poster, and I unfold it, and it's the pyramids of Egypt. You've seen it in my space lab. And it's in this kind of blue and pink hue. My favorite colors. Well, it's blue and purple more so. And I opened it, I was like, this is amazing. And he just gave it to me out of the blue. Like, it wasn't, a birthday thing or anything. It was just like, here, dude, I thought you'd like this. I was like, holy fuck, this is the coolest. And I was like, where did you get this? Because I could tell by the fold it seemed like it was from an LP, like a vinyl. He's like, dude, you're not gonna believe this, because he knew I didn't like Pink Floyd. He's like, it's from a fucking Pink Floyd record. I was like, this is just, I love this even more. This thing I fucking hate gave me this thing I fucking love. And yeah, so that to me is the best gift I've received. People who've given me gifts, obviously, I appreciate other gifts that have been given. Partly for Christmas this year, gave me a bag full of just purple stuff. There's also a really good astrology book that he handed to me too, but it was like, well, you saw those purple Tic Tacs downstairs. Probably I'm not gonna eat these fucking Tic Tacs, but they're like purple and pink, and there's a purple chocolate bar. It was like a Cadbury, I guess, had the wrapper, and then grape pop, and yeah, that was pretty thoughtful and cool. Justin and Evan, they gave me a set of tarot card decks for my birthday. A set of tarot card deck. Yeah. Anyways, is the Rider Waity one, the one that my tattoo's from. So that was a pretty good gift. Diane's got me just countless cool stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't break any gift down to like the best gift I ever received.
Yeah,
I really don't know. I've gotten a lot of really thoughtful gifts over the years, and probably if I had to, like, off the top of my head, that frog pin that I got, that was just blew my mind. Yeah, that was a really good Valentine's Day gift.
You do fucking like that.
I do.
Like, yeah, I've known about that almost since I've known about you.
Yeah. No, it's a rockin' pin. I named him Calvin because he's got a real Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes. Like when we went to your dad's retirement service, when I walked in, the lady was like, "Oh, I love your pin." I was like, "Thanks." His name's Calvin. Oh, Calvin and Hobbes, I love it. And just like right on the money.
I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. The best one, I go with that fucking poster because it's just everything about the way in which it was, and Dan, a fucking good friend. So, yeah. There we go. Last one. What is your favorite part of your daily routine? Smoking cigarettes, smoking cigarettes, smoking cigarettes, smoking cigarettes. Probably smoking cigarettes. Yeah, I could be more profound, but smoking cigarettes, smoking cigarettes. Seeing my wife, talking to my mom, doing my art, or smoking cigarettes, smoking cigarettes, smoking cigarettes, smoking cigarettes.
Going to bed sober.
Nice.
Like,
yeah.
Because I can't say that anything else is really like a surefire part of my daily routine anymore, right? Because there are days that I don't work out, there are days that I don't read, there are days that I don't play games. I'm going to bed sober.
Well, thank you for bringing it back to life.
Well, not to like just being practical about it. I do like my shower at the end of the day, but nothing beats being like, fuck yeah, I remember going to bed. Like, not having to set 5 alarms like the one will do. Like, I love remembering going to bed.
So it is.
Yep.
Well, ladies and gents, that has been the random questions to ask your friends about their interests by the one and lonely Logan Hailey. Tony, do you have Something you'd like to say?
Sure, I can figure something out here real quick.
Your little intro.
Today's Russian phrase of the day is "Я тебя обожаю." "Я тебя обожаю," and that means I adore you. Just like we adore you guys. Thanks for joining us here again for another installment of Smugglers Cove. We hope you join us again next week, the week after. Leave us a like, comment, subscribe. We're pumping out episodes 2 a week.
That's the drill.
That's the drill, and that's the game.
At
Smugglers Cove.
Love you all. Smoking cigarettes, smoking cigarettes, smoking cigarettes, smoking cigarettes.